Good morning. I'm filming on Tuesday morning. It's an overcast day, and that is just perfect for what I want to talk about today, because I want to go back to Sunday, to when it was not only overcast but dark and raining, and we got to church and there was no power. I told you that story on Monday. I want to tell you another little piece of that story today, but before I do, I want to share with you a scripture passage that fits the story that I want to tell you. And it comes from Matthew, the 20th chapter, verses 25 through 28. And the context is that James and John's mama has come to Jesus, and she has said, "Hey, Jesus, when you come into your kingdom, make sure that you take care of my boys. Put one on your right hand and one on your left. Let them be the most prominent." And the other disciples are just furious about this. And so Jesus gathers them all together to kind of help them sort through this. And here is what he says. He says, "You've observed how godless rulers throw their weight around, how quickly a little power goes to their heads. It's not going to be that way with you. Whoever wants to be great must become a servant. Whoever wants to be first among you must be your slave. That is what the Son of Man has done. He came to serve, not be served, and then to give away his life in exchange for the many who are held hostage." Now on Sunday we got in and discovered that the church didn't have any electricity, and we called EPB, the power company, and they said that they were aware of the problem and that they were going to be dispatching crews out to take care of the problem. But we realized we probably were not going to have electricity for the morning, and we didn't. And so we did a marvelous job, really, of getting through both Sunday school and the worship service, and it was kind of special because it was different, and I talked about that yesterday. And then as I was leaving the church, I'm walking across the parking lot in the rain, and here comes an EPB truck. And so I stopped, and the guy pulls up, and I'm hoping he's going to roll down the window and talk to me a little bit about what's going on. And instead, he stops the truck and puts it in park, and he gets out of the truck. And we are standing there together in the rain. I suppose you could say we didn't have enough sense to get out of a shower of rain, but we're standing in the rain talking. And he said to me that he loved going to church, but that he usually worked on Sundays, and he didn't get to go to church much. But every chance that he had, whenever he was off on a Sunday, he went to church. And he said, "I'd actually had taken today off because today is my anniversary. And I told my wife we're going to go to church together, and then we're going to go out to brunch, and we're just going to spend the day together on our anniversary." And then at 7 o'clock this morning, my phone rang, and I had to go and come out here and try to help you guys out. And what was amazing about that story was he wasn't telling me that to complain. He wasn't telling me that to make me feel bad or whatever. He was simply just telling me this story. And he was just such a great example of a servant, a great servant of his wife. And I hope that he will find a way in the days to come to serve her, to take her out to brunch, to enjoy their anniversary. But also he recognized that he needed to be a servant of his church. And every chance he gets, even though it isn't as much as some people, he's there. A servant of First Cumberland Church. He was there to care for us in our time of need. And he said, "I'm not going to just have them trim the trees a little bit, because that's the problem. The trees are on the lines. We're going to trim them way back today." And he actually was there until almost 7 o'clock, or maybe even a little later on Sunday evening, making sure those trees really were trimmed back. And then if you go by, you might even can tell behind the pool, things look a lot different than they did. He went over and beyond. He was a true servant that day. Not just a servant of the electric company, but also a servant of the Lord. And so I want him to be our inspiration for this day. What might you do this day that is going out of your way? Maybe canceling a plan you had for yourself to care for someone else. What is a way that you can make a difference? Not for credit, certainly not to complain, but simply because you're a servant of the Lord. And Jesus tells us those who are the servants are the ones who will be first. Those who are the slaves are the ones who will be most prominent. And we don't do it in order to be most prominent, but we do it because Jesus himself did it that way as well, as he said that he came to serve and not to be served. And so find a way to serve this day. Serve the Lord with gladness, just as the power company guy did, just as Jesus did. And we can do these things, of course, because the Lord is with us. Amen.